Bass Reeves was one of the first African Americans to receive a commission as a deputy U.S. Marshal west of the Mississippi River. Biography. Early life. Reeves was born a slave in 1838 in Crawford County, Arkansas. Reeves was named after his grandfather, Bass Washington. Bass Reeves and his family were slaves of Arkansas State Legislator William Steele Reeves. When Bass Reeves was 8, William Reeves moved to Grayson County, Texas, near Sherman in the Peters Colony. Bass Reeves may have served Colonel George Reeves, the son of William Reeves, the owner of Bass Reeves when he was a slave. George Reeves was also a legislator, in Texas, and at the time of his death in 1882 from rabies, George Reeves was the Speaker of the House in the Texas legislature. During the American Civil War, Bass parted company with George Reeves. Some say because Bass beat up George after a dispute in a card game. Bass Reeves fled north into the Indian Territory and lived with the Cherokee, Seminole, and Creek Indians until he was freed by the 13th Amendment in 1865. Later Reeves moved to Arkansas and farmed near Van Buren. He married Nellie Jenny from Texas, with whom he had 10 children, 5 boys and 5 girls. Career. Reeves and his family farmed until 1875, when Isaac Parker was appointed federal judge for the Indian Territory. Parker appointed James F. Fagan as U.S. Marshal, directing him to hire 200 deputy U.S. Marshals. Fagan had heard about Reeves, who knew the Indian Territory and could speak several Indian languages. He recruited him as one of his deputies, and Reeves was the first African American deputy west of the Mississippi River. Reeves was initially assigned as a deputy U.S. Marshal for the Western District of Arkansas, which also had responsibility for the Indian Territory. Reeves served in that district until 1893, when he transferred to the Eastern District of Texas in Paris, Texas. In 1897 he was transferred to the Muskogee Federal Court. Reeves worked for 32 years as a federal peace officer in the Indian Territory. He was one of Judge Parker's most valued deputies. Reeves brought in some of the most dangerous criminals of the time, but was never wounded, despite having his hat and belt shot off on separate occasions. Once he had to arrest his own son for murder. In addition to being a marksman with a rifle and pistol, Reeves, during his long career, developed superior detective skills. When he retired in 1907, Reeves claimed to have arrested over 3,000 felons. He is said to have had to shoot and kill 14 outlaws to defend his own life. One of his sons was charged with the murder of his wife. Marshal Reeves was disturbed and shaken by the incident but demanded to accept the responsibility of bringing his son to justice. His son was eventually tracked and captured, tried and convicted. He served his time in Fort Leavenworth in Kansas before being released and living the rest of his life as a responsible and model citizen. When Oklahoma became a state in 1907, Reeves, then 68, became an officer of the Muskogee, Oklahoma Police Department. He served for 2 years before he became ill and had to retire. He was himself once charged with murdering a posse cook. At his trial before Judge Parker, Reeves was represented by former United States Attorney W. H. Clayton, who had been his colleague and friend. Reeves was acquitted. Death. Reeves' health began to fail, and he died of Bright's disease in 1910. He was an uncle of Paul L. Brady, the first African-American appointed a federal administrative law judge. Legacy. In 2007, the U.S. Route 62 bridge crossing the Arkansas River between Muskogee and Fort Gibson, Oklahoma was named the Bass Reeves Memorial Bridge in his honor. On May 16, 2012, a bronze statue of Reeves by sculptor Harold Holden, of Enid, Oklahoma, was cast at a foundry in Norman, Oklahoma. It was then moved to its permanent location at Pendergraft Park in Fort Smith, Arkansas. In popular culture, it has been suggested that Reeves was the inspiration for the fictional character the Lone Ranger. He has figured in numerous forms of popular culture. Film. Bass Reeves, a fictionalized film of his life and career, was released by Ponderous Productions of San Antonio in 2010. Morgan Freeman has expressed interest in playing Reeves in a motion picture about his life. Print. Reeves' story has been presented to kids. Vonda Mike I. Nelson's book, Bad News for Outlaws, The Remarkable Life of Bass Reeves, Deputy U.S. Marshal, won the 2010 Coretta Scott King Award for Best Author. Television, Reeves figures prominently in an episode of How It's Made, in which a Bass Reeves limited edition collector's figurine is shown in various stages of the production process. Bass Reeves is mentioned in passing in Episode 2 of Season 3 of Justified, along with other U.S. Marshals of distinction Bat Masterson and Wyatt Earp. References: A.B.C. Burton, Art T. Black Gun, Silver Star, The Life and Legend of Frontier Marshal Bass Reeves. Lincoln, Nebraska, U of Nebraska Press ppA 19/20. ISBN A9780803205413A, ABCDEFGH Burton, Art T. The Legacy of Bass Reeves, Deputy United States Marshal. The Crisis 106, 38/42. ISNA 0011-1422A, ABC Burton, Art T. Black Gun, Silver Star, The Life and Legend of Frontier Marshal Bass Reeves. Lincoln, Nebraska, U of Nebraska Press ppA 21/23. ISBN A9780803205413A, OLD West Legends Bass Reeves, Black Hero Marshal, ABCDEFGH Bass Reeves, the most feared U.S. Deputy Marshal. The Norman Transcript. Archived from the original on August 26, 2012. Retrieved August 27, 2013. A.B. Deputy U.S. Marshal Bass Reeves. U.S. Marshals Museum. U.S. Marshals Museum, Incorporated. Retrieved August 27, 2013. Burton, Arthur. Art T. Burton. Black Gun, Silver Star, The Life and Legend of Frontier Marshal Bass Reeves. Lincoln, University of Nebraska Press ppA 139/148. ISBN A0-8032-1338-7. Judge Paul L. Brady retires from Job Safety Commission. Press release, United States Occupational Safety and Health Review Committee. April 15, 1997. Retrieved, August 13, 2007. Goforth, Dylan. Bridge to be renamed in tribute to famed lawman. Moscow G. Phoenix. Retrieved August 6, 2013. A statue of U.S. Marshal to travel from Oklahoma to Arkansas Wednesday. Associated Press in the Oklahoman, May 16, 2012. Mansour, Zafars. America's Forgotten Black Cowboys bbc.co.uk. Retrieved March 22, 2013. Bass Reeves at the Internet Movie Database, Bass Reeves at Ponderous Productions, Morgan Freeman explores science, faith. CNN. How It's Made. How It's Made mini-episodes, resin figure in ESA Video Science Channel. Science.discovery.com. Retrieved June 19, 2014. Further reading, Paulson, Gary. The Legend of Bass Reeves, Being the True and Fictional Account of the Most Valiant Marshal in the West. New York, Wendy Lamb Books. ISBN A0-385-74661-EXA, external links, Bass Reeves at Encyclopedia of Arkansas History and Culture, Bass Reeves at Oklahoma Historical Society Encyclopedia of Oklahoma Culture and History, Bass Reeves at Handbook of Texas Online, Bass Reeves at Find a Grave, 10 Facts About Bass Reeves at blackartblog.blackartdepot.com, Bass Reeves at angelfired.com.